Alrighty guys, as Zeke here bringing you another Dragon Ball Legends ToP guide video. So first off, I do want to go ahead and apologize to you guys. I haven't uploaded for the past 2 days. I've just been struggling a little bit, right? So just to give you, because I don't really give you guys too much of a glimpse into my personal life, but my eldest cat, her name is Mickey. She's 15 years old. She's been having a little bit of some kidney issues. Just, you know, it's just been a difficult time, right? Because I'm very close to my cats. I'm very much so like an animal lover and stuff like that. She's more than just a pet to me, right? So obviously there's a picture of her on the screen for you guys. I have to pay the cat tax and stuff like that, but you know, if her struggling feels basically like the same as me struggling. So just wanted to put that out there and just let you guys kind of like know what's going on, and I do apologize for not uploading. But so anyways, going back into the video right here, remember there will always be timestamps in the description down below. Last season we did end off in the top 3,000, right? And we actually did make a massive oopsie. So if you guys remember correctly, right, we actually did die at the end of part 2. Or not, well, we died somewhat earlier, like towards the middle of part 2, right? So we weren't able to actually finish the board, and I completely forgot. I forgot that we didn't finish the board, so we still made it into the top 3,000 while not completing the board. The only thing that really sucks about that for me specifically is because I missed out on the 300cc from the final boss right there, but we literally got top 3,000, we got the top cut title without even finishing the board, so that's just how strong the Z tier boost is. But that being said, let's go ahead and move into the pathing for this season, specifically for season 38, right? So this is what we're rocking with right here. I'm not going to go too much into detail. I still have the the fifth win streak bonus stages circled here. I don't even know if I should start circling them because how often we die, so this gets really messed up. It gets like really skewed, right? Because I never get to like the 15th win streak bonus, right? I'll get to like maybe 10, and then it'll just reset because we end up dying right here, right? But this path specifically, there's only one Sun family fight included in here. It's kind of annoying. It's a Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken fight, but it is only a 3/5 stage one, right? So you don't have to worry about it too much, but just know that you probably are going to get hit with a super attack here. I would advise just not bringing purples here. But other than that, this path specifically doesn't seem that bad. So let's go ahead and segue that into our tips and tricks, what kinds of fights you should be looking out for. So one of the very first stages that you do come across is the Sagas from the Movie stage, right? And this one can be a little bit annoying, but there's not too much you can do about it. That's why I'm not going to go too much into detail right here. But the Super Saiyan Gogeta, you want to target him. That Super Saiyan Gogeta can get a super attack. I believe it is at the start of turn 3, and also too at the start of turn 3 he also stuns you, so you want to take care of him fairly quickly and efficiently. But you also have other stunners on the team, such as the Super Saiyan God Goku. If you hit the Janemba with the blast card, he will also hit you with the stun. This fight is just fairly annoying, but the main threat is that Super Saiyan Gogeta. There is also a couple regeneration stages right here with tons of support, but your main target is Legends Limited Piccolo, right? Target him early on because he will super attack on turn 3 with a high key restore speed, and then you can start picking off the supports such as Super Baby 2, Blue 21, even the Red 21 because she does provide debuffs. There's just a lot of heals going on right here, so this can be somewhat of a tanky stage. There's another regeneration stage further down the line, which is also a 3/5 stage that we will be coming across, that has both Green 21 and Legends Limited Piccolo, right? So you want to target Green 21 first and then Piccolo, as Green 21 will Solar Flare stun you at the start of turn 2. And as per usual, almost every single season, there are these Kid Gohan stages. Make sure to target him first because he will super attack per defeated ally. And if you can, kill Beerus in turn 1. Try and do so since he can stun at the start of turn 2. There's a lot of times where sometimes my super attacks will line up very nicely, and I can maybe get Beerus out of the way first, and sometimes you'll see me target him first and then the Gohan, because the Gohan has really low key restore speed. So there are times where you can get both of them out of the way in one shot without even suffering getting hit by that super attack. Another stage that we are very accustomed to seeing, fights with Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken and the full power Frieza. Make sure to take Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken first, as he will super attack on turn 2. Again, he has a very high key restore speed, right? And maybe you want to swap all of your units over to strike based, since full power Frieza will only get his guaranteed blue card if he is met with a blast card from your own team. right? And then, of course, I will show this as well. Just if you want to change the strategy of your units, like say this purple cell right here, he is on a blast-based strategy. You want to go ahead and just click the little icon next to his avatar, and it'll say choose your attack strategy. You can just go ahead and swap that over to strike, and then hit confirm. There is also this girls team up ahead. Make sure to target green 21 first, and then green Mai. You have to take out double greens here at the beginning, which is somewhat of an issue, right? They both have a stun passives that activate on turn 2. You also have a couple rival universe teams here, right? Rival universe can be annoying. I specifically like targeting Champa first, as he also has a stun passive for turn 2. Stunning is, you know, it is a massive boon for the enemy team or for your own team, depending on what you're running. All right, so now in terms of best teams, this is the team that I am going to be using right here, which is a female Warriors team, which is going to be a slightly different variation from the one that you see on the right hand side of the screen from the rank 12 player currently, right? So this is essentially, well, on the right side at least, this is a full Z tier team, right? And we're going to try out a 3-star Kale personally, right? This guy he's at rank 12 with a 4-star Kale, so hopefully it's not too much of a massive difference right here. Kale is definitely one of the star players of this team because she does provide a heal 2 times by 2% for allies in range, right? It's going to be the row above her and her own tile right here. And the way you can go ahead and check that where she's going to be healing is you just tap on her and you can see the tile specifically that she is going to be healing. If I put her right here, you can see that she's only going to be buffing those 3 tiles, right? Not getting the full range of the actual buff itself. But that's basically how you go ahead and check that. I do have a couple replacements on here, right? Because my Great Saiyan man, or my Great Saiyan woman, right? My Great Saiyan woman is only at 7 stars, and she's an old unit, right? She has relatively bad stats and stuff like that. And so I was just like, you know what, screw it. Let me go ahead and hop into S tier. Let me get launch. Although she does not buff girls itself, she still has a heal right here, right? At the end of the second turn, she restores her own health by 10%. So I'm gonna I want to try her out right here, right? I'm gonna try her out, and I got 2 units from S tier. Not only did I get the launch, but I also got the EX Kakunza, right? Specifically because she has a good Z ability, 30% to base strike and blast defense, and she can be somewhat tanky. I was thinking about either her or getting this green Mai because she does have a stun. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below, but you can get replacements. And if you are really desperate for a healer that's not Kale, right, if you want to go ahead, you can possibly dive into A tier. This may be a little bit risky, and just pick up this healer Red 18. She's also very good at her job as a healer, right? She also provides debuffs. I've even seen other people say maybe even go as far as C tier, or not C tier, not C tier, as far as B tier, and picking up this blue 21 right here for support. But she's only, in terms of healing, she's only going to be healing other like 21 unit transforming warriors, right? They have to be transforming warriors, which some of these units do have, right? Like Ribrianne right here, she's technically a transforming warrior, so she would be getting that heal. So I mean, it just really depends on that, but you do have to keep in mind that your score is going to be taking hits the more you're switching out these units, getting the replacements. So next thing we will be talking about is the Hera Clan, right? So they can work here, but only 6 members are Z tier, so your backup units will be selected from the other tiers. Thankfully, Purple Bojack is actually S tier, which is huge, as he does provide a guaranteed blue card at the end of turn 2, since he does have a relatively low key restore speed, plus he has his own heal and stuff like that. So that is actually very nice. So that's what I'm seeing a lot in the leaderboard as well. And on top of that, I've also seen people dive all the way down into B tier, so that way they can pick up the red Bojack as well. That way you got 2 units that have a super attack potential, right? Although the red Bojack super attack doesn't necessarily work like a regular super attack because it's him transforming. It's not going to be able to kill a unit, but it still does a good amount of damage, right? This team works together specifically because I like this Bujin a lot. He does inflict can attack for 1 turn at the start of the second turn, so he has that stun ability, which is pretty powerful. And then this yellow Bojack, I'm pretty sure he does have the barrier, right? So before receiving a strike, blast, or special move arts, he does activate a special action. So this actually can come in very much so clutch, especially on those fights like I said before, we're going against one specific Sun family fight. Imagine if they super attacked onto him, right? They super attack them with the Kamehameha or something like that, right? And then he just activates the barrier. You would obviously have to get really, really lucky for that to happen onto the specific yellow Bojack, but I guess it can be a possibility. Obviously, there's not going to be a lot of replacements here, so this team is really, really limited. So next we have Team Bardock, another popular team that I'm seeing on the leaderboard right here, right? Starting off, Fasha is one of the main components to this team, as she does heal Team Bardock members, specifically to the left and to the right of her, 2 tiles to the either side, right? So she'll buff her own tile, and then the 2 to the left or to the right. She gets 60% to blast damage inflicted, minus 20% to damage received, right? But like I said, most importantly, at the end of turn 2, ally tag Team Bardock in range restores health by 3%, as well as plus 50 to key recovery. She is kind of, if you're going to run this team, she is kind of needed. Again, it's Team Bardock, so there's not a whole lot of Team Bardock, right? I can literally put every single tier on here, and there's just not a lot of units that you can go ahead and just start replacing people at a moment's whim, right? So it is what it is with that. But since you only have 7 out of 8 units that are Z tier, you're kind of forced to dive into another lower tier right here, right? But I've seen a couple of these Bardock teams in the top 1000 using MUI Goku as their 8th, who is giving a 0% boost. So take that information with a grain of salt. Obviously, I don't know exactly what these players specifically are doing. I don't know how often they're bringing MUI Goku, if they're even bringing him in at all. Alright, so the next 2 teams are kind of more so honorable mentions. We're not going to talk about them too much, but next we have is the minions right here, right? So I'm actually surprised how well this team seems to be doing, as only 2 of your Cybermen are actually Z tier, right? Because the rest do reside in S tier. But easily the best units here are the yellow Cybermen and the blue Cybermen, right? The yellow Cybermen does provide a heal for ally tag minions, restores health by 4% at the end of the 3rd turn. That's a substantial amount, especially because I'm pretty sure that just hits every single minion tag unit, right? Every unit that falls under that minion category, they are going to be getting that 4% heal. The next best unit on here is going to be the blue Cyberman, just because he is your blue card generator, right? So at the start of turn, 30% to special move gauge. That's every single turn. There are going to be some fights in which you actually get 2 super attacks off, which is huge. But other than that, I do feel like it's a little bit risky. I'm not too sure. Alright, so last but not least, we have hybrids. So only 2 units here are Z tier, right? 2 are S tier, 1 is A tier, 2 is B tier, and 1 is C tier, the one that I don't have, right? Which is the LF Trunks, right? And even with such a split in tiers, this user is still top 200, but I do suspect that this player has to take a more difficult path. It's highly possible that they fall down in the leaderboard as the season goes on, but it is still worth a mention in my own opinion right here. There's not really too much of a standout unit that's, I mean, because obviously the hybrids is just good, right? Goten is great, right? And then obviously you have the Zenkai Pan, who is in Z tier, who is helping out a lot. Great Sam and 1 and 2 are like, it's just a good team, right? It's just a good team, but in terms of tiers, you are really like lacking in with the boost system. But I think it actually is kind of like hopeful to see something like this with just such a split in units right here, right? Because hopefully eventually you do want to get back to the more like comfortable teams that you have right here, right? The teams that you've worked on in terms of friendship rank and all that good stuff, instead of just being almost forced to just run absolute dog water units in order to get the highest rank possible. Alright, so finally, for the last segment of the video, we're going to get into new units, right? So we have Super 17 right here. We are going to display him at maximum stats. This is the first time I'm looking at his kit as per usual, right? Key restore speed is looking a little bit rough, 2,265. Hopefully he does have something in his kit to go ahead and alleviate that a little bit. He just has the standard blue card right here. At the start of the battle, he gets plus 60% to damage inflicted, minus 20% to damage received, and he applies the buff effect nullifies abnormal conditions twice. At the start of the turn, multi-target, so it's going to be just that row right there, specifically on the enemy side of things. Plus 30% to own strike damage inflicted for 2 turns. That's pretty decent. Plus 90 to key recovery, right, for 2 turns. Only for 2 turns, though. Cannot be cancelled, and inflicts enemies in range with attribute downgrade plus 10% to damage received for 2 turns. I do like that. And you also inflict the enemies in range with attribute downgrade minus 30 to key recovery for 2 turns. The only thing that I would have changed about this to make them better is if I would have just extended the range of this. So it's not only 3 blocks right here. I would have made it a little bit more, but maybe that's just me being greedy. For the second ability that he has right here, before receiving a Ki Blast attack, health is 30% or lower, allies in range, he performs a cover change and absorbs an attack. I don't like this either. I'm gonna be real honest. Again, I probably would have just tweaked this so it's more like the green Super 17's passive, where he doesn't have a cover change, right? Because these cover changes having the health restriction kind of hurts them a little bit. I would have just rather him just eat a blast card, like just naturally, right? Like he doesn't have to be at any specific HP threshold. He just straight up just eats a blast based attack. On Strike Arts hit for self, he gets plus 15% to damage inflicted for 1 turn. I think he's alright, I guess. I don't think he's anything special right here. I don't think he's going to be a must run on any kind of team, especially on GT. Alright, so next we have not necessarily a new unit, but she's going to be having the Zenkai, right? So we're going to display maximum stats, Zenkai boosted, all that good stuff, right? Her Ki restore speed is 2,793, dude. That is so good, bro. She just has the regular blue card right there. First passive, Tomboyish Girl. Started the battle, 30% to damage inflicted, minus 15% to damage received, plus 30% to strike damage inflicted for 2 turns, and plus 50 to Ki recovery. Her Ki restore speed is absolutely phenomenal. I really like that a lot. Second ability, Pan's Gambit. At the start of the turn, multi-target, 20% to own strike damage inflicted, plus 15% to damage inflicted by ally tag GT, tag girls, or tag Sun family and this is really good. And if defeated, ally tag GT, tag girls, or tag Sun family restores health by 15% plus 30% to strike damage inflicted. That's the only thing I don't like about her kit, is her having death buffs. That's going to be something to look out for if she's on the enemy team. But then again, if she's on the enemy team, she's not going to have her Zenkai, right? So she doesn't even get this passive right here, the second part. So I think this is a little bit useless, right? Because you don't want her dying regardless. But I guess it can be somewhat useful in a meta where we're just constantly dying over and over and over. Maybe it is going to be helpful. I'm not too sure. I'll give her the pass on that. Alright, so that being said, that's going to go ahead and wrap it up for today's ToP walkthrough video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, or any kind of corrections, or any kind of improvements that you think I should have made, or like just any improvements on the teams itself, if you guys think that you have a better alternative for a unit than I had provided, let me know in the comments down below. Like, I can completely and utterly want this video to be open to discussion for you guys. That way you guys can go ahead and have the easiest time possible, right? So once again, if you guys do enjoy the content, make sure you guys do leave a like, a comment, maybe even consider hitting that subscribe button, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you guys so much for watching. Later!